2.
Season 2. What's going on, everybody? We're back here again with season 2 of Shed Talk. It's your boys back here again after a nice little month-long break. I'm Nate.
I'm Tony. What's up, gang? It's nice to be back.
With some high-quality entertainment.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm pretty excited to be back here. It's, we took a little break just to get our minds straight.
We back, baby! Yeah!
You right?
Nah, fuck that. We back! Back and better than ever. Listen to some people's comments from the end of the seasons. Took some opinions. We're going to, again, we tweaked some things. We're going to make some things better. We'll come back at you more with what you love, what you like. What we heard y'all like last year, actually loved last year, was guests. So we figured we kick this season off, so just us two talking. We're bringing a good guest. Somebody else can get some. Yeah, fuck that.
Great.
Yeah.
My guy, Jaycee Homsher.
Yo, what's going on? Shed Talk Podcast Season 2, man. I watched my man Tony, my man Nate build this shit up from the ground. We here, we live. I'm excited to be on the show. Thank you for having me, guys.
We're excited to have you.
Let's go.
Absolutely, man. Hey, so, we obviously, I've known you for most of my life. We used to
years
take the bus home and walk home together every damn day. And
note the first guest of the season did not play football.
Soccer.
Did not play
every
soccer.
Other guest, yes, except
Anthony.
for there was one.
Never played soccer. I played basketball, though.
We did play basketball together.
We was hooping.
I used to be able to hoop, and then I realized I'm too short. That's not happening. So, anywho. So, yeah, JC's been pretty busy with his life. We were all obviously the same age. He went out to Temple and stayed in Philly for a while and started becoming a real creative. And, it's something that I admire because having your own entrepreneurship on the side is pretty awesome. So, wanted to bring you here because your clothing brand is popping, bro. You know it is. It's going really well. It's seen a lot of success. Sorry, I rep Notre Dame today, but, but
There's jokes on us for life, bro.
I agree. So, tell us a little bit about your company and how this started.
Yeah. So, where it all started. So, I'm heavily inspired by hip hop. That's where it first started. That was like my first love. Just hip hop music, the whole culture, everything like that. I was like, yo, I want to be a part of this in some way, shape, or form. So then, what I did, I was always into art. Me and my friends, we would draw like Dragon Ball Z characters and like Fast and Furious cars in first grade, kindergarten type.
Yep.
And then what had happened was I got a little bit older, started to explore just different avenues of creativity, and then I found my first love, which was dancing, hip-hop dance. So
I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
you used to make some videos about that. I was like, what's he
Yeah.
doing with his arms? But I do love it. It's dope as shit, I'm not going to lie, but
that's where it started. I saw the Jabberwockies. So if you guys don't know who the Jabberwockies is, they wear the white mask. They were on America's Best Dance Crew.
Yo, that season was elite too.
Elite, bro.
Elite, yo.
Very
They had
elite.
fanny pack too. That was the best. No crap.
Literally
Iconic.
changed my life. So I started dancing, and I just took that to the next level. And like I joined a dance crew called Star City Rebels. Shout out to them, Harrisburg. We was out here doing competitions. We was living, and then I came up with the dance name Joke Star.
Yep.
So I always liked the Joker. Shout out Heath Ledger, that's my favorite Joker. Rest in peace. But I always liked the Joker, but there were so many dancers with the name Joker. So I was like, okay, how can I make it my own? So our name was Star City Rebels, and instead of Joke Stir, I did Joke Star, right? So that was my dance name. And I did that for a few years, and what happened was I wanted to brand my dance name and open up a nonprofit dance organization for kids to teach them confidence through dance, because that's what dance taught me.
Right.
So the organization was Joke Star Dance Organization, and I was going to start the nonprofit, everything like that. Had it going. I was actually hosting like annual dance competitions for people.
For real?
Like, yeah, I had like my last one I did. I had like over 100 dancers.
Okay.
And like somebody from Canada came down and won.
Where was it at?
This was in Philly. So
Okay.
the first one I did in Harrisburg, and the second two I did in Philly. So yeah, I did the dance thing for a while and had that branding. And with the Joke Star, what the definition of a Joke Star is, it's a noun actually. It's an individual who, despite being criticized or made fun of, sticks to their goals and eventually shines. So made fun of joke,
great,
shine, star. You know, I wanted to turn jokes into stars, the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a good mission.
Then what had happened was I blew out my knee.
I remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah, for the third time, and it was like the third time's a charm. And I was just like, yo, I can't keep doing this because dance was something that was freedom to me, and now it became something that I was fearful to do because I was like, I can't get injured again, and it was like in my head.
Right.
That's when I started exploring my other creative avenues. Like I said, I was always like doing art class and stuff, and in high school when I was younger with my friends. And that's when I figured out I love painting. And I started painting, and my friend put me on. She brought me a canvas. I made this art, and it was like music lyrics. And basically what I did with that is I started making these paintings, and I started transferring the paintings to t-shirts. And I called my paintings at the time Jokes Art. So I stuck with that Jokes theme, you know what I'm saying? It was always the same mission. I just didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with it now that I wasn't dancing.
Right.
So basically, going from painting to putting this on a clothing to putting these designs on a t-shirt, one day I was like, it literally clicked. I was like, jokes on me. Literally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how it all happened, and I was like, jokes on us. And that's why I was like, this is the avenue. Clothing is the avenue. I have to put my message onto these clothes to get these out to the people. Clothing makes me feel confident. You know, when you wear a nice shirt, you know that shirt in your closet, right? That when you put that on, you know, if you go to a party, people go like, yo, that's a dope shirt. That's what I wanted to give that feeling to people, you know what I'm saying?
I understand that. Mine has a dinosaur on it, so.
You know what I'm saying? One of my first shirts had a giraffe on it. It was like a tattooed giraffe, and I knew if I wore that shirt, everybody was like, yeah, that shirt's fire.
Right.
And I wanted to give that feeling to other people, but at the same time, I wanted to educate them on the mission of what I was trying to do. So I took that original mission with Joke Star, and I reformulated it, and so I created an LLC, Jokes LLC. And basically our mission now is to inspire and instill confidence in those who have been laughed at, misunderstood, and overlooked by the hands of normality through design, art, and fashion. So the laughed at part being jokes on us, you know what I'm saying? People have been misunderstood. People have just like been overlooked by what is normal in today's atmosphere.
Right,
you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
If you have an idea that's not what everyone else is thinking, you know, you kind of just get dismissed. People laugh at you, you know what I'm saying?
Especially like creativity, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, you sitting there drawing up those canvases and turn that first tattoo design into a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's like for as many people you walk into a room be like, man, yo, that's hot. There'll be those same people like, oh man, what is that? Like, what the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that mission is just, that's great, dog. Because it's like you can prove those people wrong. Like you can say how you was hating on my shirt back then, but now look at it. Now I got other people wearing it.
Right.
You know, what you going to say? Not shit. You was even just looking at one probably. So
your design's already gone across the world. Like I see you posting all the time. Like people are buying in different countries, like Denmark and
I'm like,
I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
that's international.
Like, how does that? How does that? Obviously, it's an amazing feeling, but like, how do you think it happened? Like, how are people starting to see around the world, like, really what's going on?
A lot of it's social media, you know, like social media really connects us all over the world. Shout out to Twitter. It's a great platform if you want to go viral, if you want to get people interested in your stuff. You know, it's very easily that people can just retweet and share and like and send stuff all over the world. So Twitter's been a great avenue for jokes, you know what I'm saying? As far as like even the art and the clothing. So I have like collectors out in the Philippines, you know, I got collectors out in Denmark, Europe. I have collectors I have somebody in Brazil, you know. It was like,
that's crazy.
He hits me up, he's like, I can't wait until the Brazil dollar is good enough where I can buy yours. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So I got fans out all over the world. It's pretty dope, you know. And I have a friend who he does music, right? So he tours and he makes music, and like he'll wear my stuff all over the world, to China, to Tokyo. He'll wear the jokes. He got these pants he's wearing and just represent worldwide.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, I was repping one of your hoodies at work. When I told you, like, was that like a month or two ago when one of my coworkers came in? She was like, "Oh, Nate," she was like, "Man, yo, like that hoodie, like, where'd you get that from?" Like, I never did shit. And Neon, mind you, she's probably like 50 plus, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's like somebody recognizing, like, looking at your designs and saying, "Man, like, I really don't know what it is, but I love what it's saying. I love what I'm seeing." You know, she was like, "Hey, can I get that website address like that same day?" I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, I got you."
Yeah, that's crazy because a lot of people, you know, they see the crazy things that you put on the shirts and the
Yeah.
crazy designs, and like some of it can be extreme. I mean, think about it. I was talking to Nate and Nikki about this, the Racism Kills shirt.
Yep.
I was like, beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Just the image is just like, holy hell, there's a guy being hung from it's a KKK guy. I'm like, that's insanity. Like, but it works.
It's art.
People see it and people visualize. And we're
Starts the conversation.
who's this jokes guy? And we're like, well, that's the point, right?
Yeah,
That's the whole point of it.
For me, clothing has always been a conversation starter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's the one external expression that we can wear every day. We can go out, we can be ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And like, you'll find out you'll find your people by what you're wearing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can create a community through clothing, and that's the goal, so.
That's actually really crazy. Now thinking about you saying that's true. Like, you see athletes, they'll be out there wearing sweats, J's, all that, and it's like, oh shit, when they're around, they're athletes and stuff.
Exactly.
They're the exact same thing, you know. It's
like a team.
Point.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, I know we've talked about some of the good stories you've had with the brand and people you've met.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your favorite, like, celebrity that you've met through your brand, and like, walk me through, like, how'd that feel that they loved your clothing? Like, I know you've talked to many people throughout your business career.
Yeah. So my favorite celebrity, man. I'll give you two. Like, Steve Aoki's a big one. So I had the opportunity to make some custom jeans for Steve Aoki. My homie who I was talking about, who tours worldwide, he's actually signed to him.
Oh, for real?
Okay.
Yeah, so he introduced a connection, you know what I'm saying? I've been working with him for a couple of years, doing some single artwork for him, you know, making clothes for him and everything.
That's
and I
dope.
finally got the opportunity, like about a year into our friendship, to make some clothes for his boss, which is Steve Aoki. So
That's
did that. We got to,
That's
it
dope.
was crazy. It was a crazy day. We actually saw Avengers together.
Oh, for
I
real?
remember you telling me that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
You go to a movie with
Yeah.
Steve Aoki.
Yeah, man, it was a wild day.
No,
And then like he DJ'd at Noda that night, so we were just behind the DJ booth, you know, rocking out with him and stuff. And then honestly, my favorite artist that I've given clothing to is Tyler the Creator.
I remember you and Monte going out to Cali
Yeah.
about that.
Dude,
Where'd
that's
you run
dope.
into him at?
The Gucci
I
store.
was gonna say,
Yeah,
that's wild.
It
Like,
was-
just run into somebody out in LA like that.
it was just like fate, you know what I'm saying? Like we were walking down Rodeo Drive, and if you guys don't know what Rodeo Drive is, it's in LA. It's like the mecca for all designer stores. You got your Ralph Lauren, you got your Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga. Every designer store is on that street, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we were just walking down, kind of window shopping, because, you know, we can't afford nothing out there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
We ain't there yet.
yeah, we're
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet, but jokes on Rodeo Drive soon. Best believe it. But yeah, it was crazy because I just seen like a McLaren out there, and they got really nice cars everywhere. But I was checking it out, and it had a Golf air freshener in it, and that's his brand. So I was like, "Yo, this is Tyler the Creator's McLaren." So we was like just walking around a little bit more, and we walked into a Gucci store, and he's just standing there, you know. And I just so happened to have like one of my crew necks on me from the last fall collection, Uncomfortable Jokes, and he accepted the gift, and I talked to him for briefly, and it was dope. He's my favorite because it was like he's just a big inspiration to me as far as being yourself, being an artist, like just doing what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, because he really, his creativity, he just don't care. He's
He
just
don't
like,
care,
yeah,
man.
and like that's like we
He's
talked.
so wild.
Yeah, like we talked about before, it was like you just have to be able, like, you can't care about what people say. Like, that's how you feel. That's what your passion is. You gotta be able to just go out there and do it, no matter what nobody says. So I was just like, so can you like talk us through like the process of like, you know, what it takes like to be able, like, you're wearing one of your shirts right now, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, if you're watching on YouTube, we got the jokes.
Yeah, this is actually the jokes. This is the jokes mirror tee. We dropped these in like this charcoal gray, and we dropped them in like a vintage white. But basically, the print is backwards, so it's like when you look in the mirror, it looks forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like a little effect. So we just wanted to do something a little bit different. So like when you take a selfie, it's like forward on your camera. I was noticing every time I take a selfie, I'd have to flip the video. You know what I'm saying? So people could read what jokes was.
Yeah.
And now we just made a shirt, so I know how to do that. Yeah.
Now you're just gonna make it easier on you. That's
Honestly.
great.
So like, how long does usually like this shirt right here? Like, how long like would that probably take like to come up with, design, get it done?
The ideas, the design and the aspects. So like I look at myself overall as when it comes to art, I feel like I'm a designer over everything. Before I'm a painter, before I'm a clothing like stuff, I feel like just an overall design. You know?
Right.
Even when I look at like music, when I look at everything, it's like how does this fit here? The balance of it. You know what I'm saying? So the designs kind of just like pop in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I got my sketchbooks. I'll write them down. You know what I'm saying? And nothing might come out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But maybe a year later, I'll be like, yo, that was really cool,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll bring it back to life. You know what I'm saying? But as far as making shirts, there's a lot of different processes that people can use. I choose to go right now. I'm using like a heat press. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? Not too much work. And I kind of do made to order stuff. So like when I get my orders in, I'll make it. I don't keep a lot of inventory on hand.
Yeah.
Like it's like inventory is a black hole. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if you don't sell it all, then you just got like a lot of weight. So I just kind of do like a lot of made to order. I do a lot of custom stuff too. So not only am I just pressing, but I got a sewing machine. I'm painting on clothes. I'm cutting stuff up. A lot of upcycling, you know, from thrifted goods. So yeah.
And you're doing this. You're doing this all by yourself, right?
Yeah, 100% by myself. Yeah.
How do you, on that topic, like, how do you balance? I know you have a full-time job, too.
Yeah, it's another
Like,
thing, yeah.
how do you balance the two? Like, and just tell the world, like, what you do with it.
Yeah, so it's tough. So I actually, my day job is in insurance. So I went to Temple for risk management and insurance, which is a really tough program at Temple.
Oh, yeah.
And I minored in entrepreneurship, and I just did that so I can get that degree. You know what I'm saying? I can just get I went to school for trying to own a business, and I was like, you don't need to go to school for owning a business. So I just tried to get the best degree I could out of the business school. You know what I'm saying? Make all the connections, the networking, and all that stuff, because that's what college is about. But yeah, so just balancing. That's one of the hardest things, man. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, especially with like quarantine and stuff, like I'm trapped in my art studio. That's like my bedroom. It's like where I work, my office, everything. So it's like my art's around me. So it's really just, it's the mission every day. You gotta live it. It's your lifestyle. You know, like you gotta fall in love with the process. You know, you can't fall in love with the likes. You can't fall in love with the end product. You can't fall in love with that. You gotta just love the process. So like, once I clock out of work, I start painting. You know what I'm saying? I just get to what it is, and that's just like that kind of brings me back to where like grounds me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like we've like talked about like in last season how like people need to express themselves creatively, creatively. I don't know why I keep saying it like that. That way, you know, unwind at the end of the day. Like when you come home from that 9 to 5, you know, you probably start painting, and it's like whatever problems you probably had at work, that probably just goes like probably all out the window. Or even if it even something linger, you probably just put that right into the paint where you can express how you feel right there on that canvas, which probably honestly feels amazing, you know.
Yeah, I think it's important for everybody to have their own thing, you know, whether it makes money or doesn't make money, just something that makes you happy, that you can like escape to, you can retreat to, that you can be proud of, you know. And like with like the creativity thing, it's like not everybody is the most creative, you know, but find something you like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, especially in times like this, we gotta keep ourselves afloat, you know what I'm saying? Like we can't just bet on one source of income anymore, you know what I'm saying? We can't just bet on one thing because the world's shifting, you know. We gotta have ownership. We gotta do our own thing.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. I 100% agree with that. That's why we have what we do. It's rewarding when you have your own brand at the same time because it's your product. It's our product. You know what I mean? It's fun, and it just makes the days go by a little easier because you're able to build something that you've already created. You know, so. But it's nuts balancing a 9 to 5. It's with all of this. So.
It's a lot. And one thing I'll say is like the best advice I could give to somebody is find a job where you don't have to, like, you can have some downtime at your job. Like the best type of jobs for a creative is a job where if you get all your work done, you're not being micromanaged. Where like you could hop on your laptop for a little bit and do what you got to do, make your orders, talk to your fans, just do your social media. And then hop back on work if you need to. Like having a manager over your head or like hard physical labor all day, it's hard to be a creative because then you get really drained, you know? So there's different types of jobs that are a lot easier to navigate with that whole thing.
Yeah, we definitely talked about that with like work-life balance before, and it's just so important. Like, and the life piece of it is your brand. It's not just the let's go home and, you know, relax, because obviously I want to take a nap when I come home too, but hey, there's stuff that's got to get done. If you invest something, you might as well invest to see the return on it, you know?
Yeah. And one other thing I want to say is about, like, the ownership and having your own thing is, like, it's, like, everybody doesn't have to have their own thing. Yeah. Specifically, you know? But if everybody has their own niche, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might not be the face of a podcast, you know what I'm saying? But there's so much on the back end that goes into a podcast that is critical to making it, you know what I'm saying? So if you really, like, video recording, you know what I'm saying? If you really like editing, you know, you can help somebody grow theirs. And while you're growing theirs, that's building your resume. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're building your resume under their brand, and you can branch off. That's exactly what happened with, like, you had, like, Kanye and Virgil Abloh. Virgil Abloh came up under Kanye, but now Virgil Abloh has Off-White. He has, he's the head of Louis Vuitton men's collection, you know what I'm saying? He created his resume with Kanye, branched off, he has his own thing, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, and that actually was a great point of there being, like, you gotta find your niche, like, because there are some out there for everybody, you know, like, you might not be somebody, like me and Anthony, you might not be somebody that wants to get up and just talk to people, you know, but you might want to be like Nikki, be behind the scenes, be there doing the editing,
Shout out to Nikki.
yeah, exactly, always shout out to Peachka, and sitting there doing the editing, sitting there doing the recording, you know, it's the same, like, when you see people on, like, YouTube, you go watch a YouTube video, that's what a lot of people are doing, like, you see that one face that they might have done the creative part, they did the talking, but there's somebody behind that camera that probably did that editing, they helped them get to where they're at, so, just because, like Jaycee said, just because you're not the star, or the quote-unquote face, like, you can still play, even an important role, the person that produces this shit, the person that's able to get the product out there, so, and then also, you know, while we're on it, like you said, you had bought Kanye. You know, I wanted to go back to like your hip hop inspiration. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was probably like your biggest inspiration for hip hop.
He's one of them. He's one of them.
Okay, then can you just touch on your hip hop inspirations then, since that's what led to you being, you know, who you are now. For
sure. I'll say first and foremost, one of my biggest inspirations was Eminem. Coming up, he was just like, he was one of those dudes who, like, I was listening to him at such a young age, and he was saying some wild stuff, you know what I'm saying?
That dude was insane.
He was wild, but, like, he was always a good person. You know, you knew him, he was saying, and that kind of taught me, you can, like, do something crazy, but still be a good person, and it's all just for show. It's all for your branding and stuff, and it's not, like, he's that type of person in real life, you know? So, and him just speaking out and being himself and saying whatever the hell he wanted, that inspired me to go do that. So that's one of my first inspirations. And then you had like Kanye didn't come into the picture until a little bit later. Yeah, and that's when I started getting like real creative and everything. But Jay-Z, man, Jay-Z is just like he's a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you listen to him and you learn a lot about business. Lupe Fiasco.
That's another great.
You listen to him and you just
Fiasco.
You listen to him and you'll hear words you never heard. You have to go dictionary them, and you know what I'm saying. You got to learn the definition. And you'll learn a whole new subject. And then Currency, like he's one of my favorite rappers too.
One, yeah.
He's a real lifestyle rapper, and I fuck with him because he just embodies being yourself. He embodies the hustle, like staying in like your lane, doing your thing, and just watching it grow and build. You know, so hip hop's been a big part. You know, I think like even if like back to the part about playing your part and everything, it's like. I love hip hop to death. I can never be a rapper. You know, I can never be on stage, be in the face of that. But I love to be an AR. I love to be in the background, kind of go like, no, do this,
what I would
do that. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to fashion design for the set. You know, like that type of thing. So.
Yeah, that's why it's always good when people that are creative too. I think what's important is be able to, like to collab with people. Yeah. That way you can be able, you know, like the connection you got with to Steve Aoki. It's like you're able to produce these shirts, be able to produce these clothing lines, be like, hey man, yo, here, like, can you check this out, like, see what you like, and wear it out there, and then he's able to be able to showcase that. Not that you can't do that, but it's like you got somebody else doing that, and he's coming back, being able to critique you a little bit, say, hey man, this is what people like, this is what people didn't like, and then once that collaboration comes together, it's like you can make magic, like anything can happen.
It's a team thing, man.
For
you
sure.
kind of become a team when you really start collabing with others, and it's really the other thing too. We talked about it off camera. Is just helping the homies out in the same breath too. Like, there's a lot of people that are trying to do big things. So why not? The people that were close to you that are trying to help grow. We got to grow together. Like that's the one thing that's wrong with the world is we always forget we can't just be out for ourselves. Like this is a team game to get to where we need to get. That's really what it is. So.
Yeah. And to speak to that, man, it's like, I always tell people, like, a lot of people try to shoot for the stars. And that's great, you know what I'm saying? Like, do that. But at the same time, like, there's networking horizontally and there's networking vertically, right? So when you network vertically, you're trying to network up. You're trying to get to the Steve Aoki, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to do that. But when you network horizontally with the people who are on your level, you know what I'm saying? The people you came up with, it's a time game. It's like dedication. Like in 10 years, we'll all be those people at the top.
Yep.
Those people like the Kanyes, the Jay-Z's, all those people. They're like 30, 40. You know what I'm saying? We got 10, 15 years in this game before we get to where we want to go for real, for real. So that's the way I look at it. It's a time game. It's a dedication. Put in the hours every day.
Consistency is the biggest key to any production that you do.
Yep.
Even in like a job and a corporate job, like I know we all work and do our own creativity like on the side, you still got to do it, like no matter what. It's a hustle, but guess what, your rewards are reaped when you enjoy what you do.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest traps like people will always say like have fallen into, like especially with stuff like on social media, is like for as good as it is, like so much you can do, like people can always get that misconception, or what a lot of people end up doing is they always see the end result of what somebody did. You know, like you just saying, like somebody like a Jay-Z, like they can see now, like, yeah, you know, he owns Rock Nation. Yeah, he's a billionaire. You know, he's working with all these different people, but people always, like, those 15, 20, 30, you know what I mean, 15, 20, like, years plus in the game, people always just want to skip that part and just say, oh, I want to go from here to where he's at, like, in a month or two. And it's like, nah, you got to slow that down. Like, you got to put in the work to be able to get there. And plus, you know, you say you reap the rewards that you sow. So it's always so much more rewarding when you're able to just grind it out, you know, work as hard as possible. Then once you get that achievement, it's like...
Yeah, because the thing is, like, you might blow up, because people do blow up.
Yeah,
you know,
it
happens, and that's what people see, and they're like, I want to just blow up, you know? And, like, you might not know what to do when you get there. That's the thing, you know? Like, a lot of people don't know what to do when they get to that point. They just kind of, like, fold under pressure, and it's like, if you build and you learn along the way, you can really achieve those results. And, like, I'm telling people, like, it's time, like, we're young. Like, we're young. Like Kanye, he didn't drop his first song until he was like 26, 27. I'm 24. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could start making, you know what I'm saying? Like, anything can happen at any point. So, like, just keep going. Just keep sticking with it. Something's going to pop. That tipping point is there somewhere.
Exactly. And like you said, like, if you blow up, man, that's why you can't let you get too full of yourself when you blow up. Because, like you said, then you just end up, you can blow up, everybody can see you, this and that. But then if you're not staying consistent, if you just skip the grind and like, oh man, I'm already made it, and just get lackadaisical, it's like, next thing you know, next week, next month, or even next day, it could be like, yo, where'd he go? Like, this person blew up. Like, best example you can even use to that, it's like, when you look at like Twitter now, like, you can think like back in the day when Twitter first started, like somebody went viral, you knew who they were. Yeah. You knew who they were you were following them for months. Now it's like, I can open my phone up right now, I could go see at least 4 people with 20,000 tweets, or 20,000 likes and favorites. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh man,
that's just the
now
machine.
Like, exactly. Then it's like, even if you go follow, you could probably follow that person. Yeah. And then the next day, it's like, oh man, this person kind of corny. I was just a one hit wonder.
One hit wonder, man. And that's like Twitter's great. You know what I'm saying? It is great because there's a lot of exposure out there, like I said. But at the same time, it's a tool. You know, you can't look at it for the metrics too much. Like there's some science behind it with these algorithms, but you can't get caught up. Like, that's one thing, like, personally with social media, like, on social media, if you want to talk about that, is, like, being an artist and creative. Like, I hate Instagram.
Yeah.
I hate it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's these white squares, it's these blocks, and I'm like, look, I'm doing a lot more than I can fit into these white squares. You know, I'm not a graphic designer specifically for Instagram. Like, my feed might not always be right. Like, I don't always want to post at 3 p.m. when I just made something at 2:24 and I just wanted to post it then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, the algorithm don't work that way. So, like, if I post it then, I know not as many people are going to get exposed to it. Not that it's not dope. Like, I know whatever I'm dropping, I feel like it's dope, and it might deserve the likes and the praise or whatever people want to say. But at the same time, it's like, it could just be the algorithm. It could just been the time you posted it. Like,
even like the I was just going to say, add on that, like, even with the hashtags you use, like, you could post something, you could put a caption of what you did with it. Yeah. Then you put like 50 hashtags, and it's like somebody gonna find it. It's like a couple people, they're gonna like it. Yep. And like you said, that algorithm will just so happen that day it worked in your favor, because you could do the same thing with the next post, put them exact same hashtags, and then you have 20,000 likes on the first one. Yep. The next one you get 20 likes. Exactly.
It flops. You know what I'm saying? like the art is still quality. Whatever you're doing is still quality, but it's the numbers, it's the metrics and stuff, you know. So.
Right.
Exactly.
But so one last question for you though.
Let's go.
About your business, about what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite piece of art you've ever made?
Favorite piece of art I've ever made. It's a good question.
There's a lot of good stuff out there.
You talking about paintings?
Yep.
Or you talking about clothing?
Let's go straight paintings.
Let's go to paintings. Okay, so just to let everybody know, so under the Jokes LLC parent company, I have Jokes Art Gallery, which is like where I started the paintings before I did the clothing. So it's like my paintings, the canvases, the prints, all that stuff. And then I have Jokes on Us, and Jokes on Us is the clothing brand under the parent company, right? So if we're talking about paintings, this is a tough one. I think one of my favorite paintings, honestly, so I made it was a Kanye West painting, and it was inspired by his album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And it's just because like I knew that's my favorite album by him, you know. A lot of my stuff is music inspired. Like I paint what I hear. Like it's like the visual, like when you hear a rapper, you say they're painting a picture.
Yeah.
That's literally what's going on in my head, and I sketch it out, what I'm hearing, and I put it into like how I interpret it. So my favorite one is it's this piece, and it's like a dual canvas, you know what I'm saying? It's a split canvas, and it's from his song Blame Game, and it says like it says you'll probably find one of those I like art type girls, you know what I'm saying? And it has each of his album covers that he did, because there's alternative covers,
right?
And it's like it looks like a museum, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you're touring this album through the museum, you know, and the way that you can move the canvas, you can split it up, you can put it together. It's pretty cool. So it's just like super creative. I sketched it up on my first trip ever to like Los Angeles, and that became one of my favorite pieces, honestly, you know. So
it's awesome.
Yeah,
it is a great piece.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So obviously we all know there's a lot of craziness going on right now in the world. So how are you yourself as an artist? Because we see, you know, people always look to artists, people especially, you know, musicians, to be able to get a message out there to the people, you know, either let them know like everything's okay, or, you know, this is like what we need to do to make things better. How do you yourself as an artist be able to portray that message like through your artwork?
Yeah, so I think in times like this is where some of the best art comes out of, you know, like this is a time where people are feeling a lot of different emotion, you know, a lot of people are feeling like this way about this topic or this way about this topic, and I feel like in this time it's a lot of people have been locked in, you know what I'm saying, this lockdown, a lot of people have had time to work on their art and everything, and for me personally, I just want to create things that make a statement. It might be controversial, but like I said, it's a conversation starter, you know. The whole point is to get the conversation started, because if we're not talking to one another, we're not hearing each other's like thoughts, you know, we're not hearing each other's perspectives, then we get siloed, you know, and that's how the divisiveness gets created, you know. And I want somebody to come up and say, hey, what's that shirt mean? Like, and then have a civil conversation about it, you know, because I think that's how we all can grow together. So, like, with the Racism Kill shirt, you know, it's crazy because, like, it's a shirt that represents the end of white supremacy, you know what I'm saying, in the world. And most of the people who have bought it from me actually have been white, you know, and that's what I want. I want them to wear that and maybe go around family or uncle or somebody and have that conversation with them, because it's an uncomfortable conversation, but that's how we grow out of the being uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? Where you can add your perspective to this, and it doesn't have to be nothing crazy. It's not nothing too like wild. And people at the time when I made the design, because I made it last year, people were like, yo, this is a crazy design. And I was like, it's not so crazy anymore, is it? You know, this is the world we're living in, you know?
Timing thing.
It's a fact. Racism does kill, you know? Like,
it does.
It has been like, there's been a lot of hate towards it and everything. So like, what I want to say to everybody just creating out in a time like this is like, just stay true to yourself, you know? Give a little bit back to the world, because the world's giving a lot to us, you know, even if it's like, if it is a donation, you know, it doesn't have to be financial, it doesn't have to be monetary, but at the same time, like, create something that can inspire somebody through this time. That's the whole thing. Like Tupac said, he said, I might not be the person to change the world, but I'll spark the idea of somebody's mind who will change the world. You know, that's the whole goal, is to inspire. Like, that's really what Jokes is about. 100%. So
I think education is so important right now for literally everybody. We all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different things. Some of us may not even understand what truly goes on in a different home or a different society. I mean, obviously, I'm a different race from everybody that's sitting right here, and there's a lot of different family. You know, we just nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors, or even outside of just us sitting here. He's going to go home. You're going to go home. Something happened. It's good to be able to educate ourselves, all of us, in these times. It's crazy, you know, obviously with COVID and how crazy things happened, and now all this other craziness that's going on in the world. You really see what's what's really happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just nuts. It's just, this is the best time for all of us to really sit down, focus on these positives, gain together, and not, try to fight. And it's really a good versus evil thing.
Yep.
Realize what's good and realize what's not good for you.
Yeah, and one more thing is just breathe. Just
Bro,
breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe. We hold in our breath, man. Like, just breathe and just take that time to be in the now. Like, the past is the past. The future is unknown. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the time to just... there's this trick, it's called, like, wiggle your toes, and it just brings you back. When you wiggle your toes, it just brings you back to know, I'm here. Reality, you know what I'm saying? It just brings you back. So, like...
yoga technique,
It's an anxiety thing, because a lot of people is going through mental health issues right now. That's a whole nother topic, and it's like, it's being able to be at peace with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's just that whole aspect.
I definitely like what you said, to stay true to yourself. If you're, like, know who you, take this time, like you said, be in it now, and even trying to understand what's going on or focusing on what's going on now. Also focus on yourself too. That way you can be able to say, hey, like, I'm here right now. This is where my feet are playing. This is where I'm at right now. And I got two choices. I can either let things stay the same, or I can be one of the people, hey, like, maybe I might have that uncomfortable conversation, or I might be the person that gets a message out there that might make people uncomfortable, but it's something that might open their eyes, be able to say, oh, maybe this is where I'm seeing something wrong. Or be that person, like, be that conversation starter. That way, you can be that person, one of the people you can look back now, where you are here in the now. When you, like you said, the future is unknown, but you could look forward into the future and be able to look back now and say, hey, I knew where my feet were planted, and I knew I was one of those people that wanted something better. And I tried my best for it. And like you said, you were able to stay true to yourself. Yep. And where staying true to yourself is knowing that what that your message is right and getting it out there, or knowing that your message might be wrong, or you might not have understood something in the past, but you can take the time to be in the now and grow.
Unlearn and relearn. That's so important, man. And, like, what I want to touch on real quick is another thing is just about being an artist in times like this, like staying true to yourself, and just, like, the world's crazy. And a lot of people are feeling like it's them, and it's not just them. And it's like learning how to just be selfless and understanding that, like, as an artist, we're not entitled to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because we made a cool piece doesn't mean that it's supposed to sell.
Exactly.
Like people don't have to give us our money. They don't have to do anything like that. They are willing to because of what we represent. So, like, it's like when we have that entitlement as artists, it starts to kill our, like, our soul. Like, oh, I'm not selling my art. Oh, like, why aren't people buying this? Look, like, I've been doing art since kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of, like, it's all about your name. It's all about your brand. You have to build, like, Picasso could come in here, he could draw a line on the paper, it's worth $10,000. You know what I'm saying? Just because his name's Picasso. Yeah. But, like, I was drawing lines on papers when I was 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's your brand, it's building up, it's patience, it's time, it's like investing in yourself. It's not overnight, you know what I'm saying? So, and
investing in good things, like continuing to build your brand in the best way possible.
So even if you don't gain yourself, you know what I'm saying, the world will gain something positive, so that's the point.
Yeah. Honestly, you just gotta be grateful and grind. Honestly,
grateful and grind, I like that.
Yeah, like you said, like you make something hot, like, just because one couple people don't like it, you don't get yourself down.
Make something else. Make another thing.
Like, if you show your artwork to like 10 people and maybe 2 people say, man, I really like this, like, don't let them other 8 get you down. Like, be grateful for what them 2 say, and then grind, so that way you swing them other 8's opinions and say, yo, this is what you were missing out on, but now you understand.
Because one of those 2 could be the trendsetter, could be the influencer, and they're gonna be like, oh, I like it, and then the whole 8 be like, you know what, I kind of actually like that. You know what I'm saying? Their whole perspective will change. So it's all about that. But
exactly. I got some good shit.
100%. But
so, well, I would say that's all we got, but it's not all we got, because we have the final Shed Talk. But before that, JC has an announcement for us.
Yes. All right, everybody. So, season 2 of Shed Talk, man. It's Jokes on Shed Talk. So we're gonna be sponsoring the podcast from here on out. You're gonna be seeing a little, like, ads and stuff. We're gonna give you guys a specific code for you guys to get some jokes on y'all for a little bit cheaper. You know what I'm saying? For tuning in, for being dedicated listeners, for being supporters to the Shed Talk podcast. Like I said, me and Tony, we've been friends since we were probably like 5-6 years old. You know what I'm saying? Kindergarten, first grade type stuff. So to invest in each other, that's what it's all about. So Jokes on Shed Talk. You guys are going to see ads. You're going to see the commercials. You're going to see what new products we're coming out with through this podcast. And we're going to be building together from here on out. So we're starting off season 2. Just want to give it up to my mans.
Yes, sir.
Give it
That's
up.
what we're here for.
The joke's on us.
The joke is on us. The jokes are on us.
Let's go. Let's go.
So, what's
Boom.
the final Shed thought? Man, I'm going to let you
kinda-
start out.
I thought that was the final. I thought it was,
Nah.
there's another one?
There's always a final thought.
Okay.
All right, here we are.
And his seemed to be pretty inspirational.
Yo, I actually got a good one though. I just thought about it. I thought about it a little while ago. Okay, so appreciate you, JC, for that announcement, man.
Mm-hmm.
So now, as always, we can't abandon it. We got the final Shed Talk for y'all. I'll be the one to kick it off this season. So I was thinking earlier today about, there's this, especially, kind of with everything going on, how life's been, there's always that saying, live, love, learn, right? And I was and it really popped in my head today, like, yeah, that's a good statement, you live, you love, you learn, but I think now would be a time to kind of flip that around and make it learn, love, live, because if we're not loving, then we can't be living, but if we're not learning either, then we can't know how to love somebody. So now if we just flip that, keep love in the middle, because as long as love's in the middle, you're always going to be able to keep things together. But when you're able to learn, then you can love a lot better. And when you start loving everybody, you got a peace of mind, you can stay positive, and you can be able to spread that love. That way somebody else, like we said, somebody can see that artwork and be the trendsetter.
Yep.
You go back to that example, you show love to 2 people, and maybe the other 8, they're not feeling it, but them other 2, they might be the ones that be able to get those other 8 to show that love. So when you learn, make sure to learn to love, and then when you start loving, then you'll be able to fully live. That's what I got for you for the final Shed
That's the
Thought.
final Shed Thought.
You inspire me
Wrap it up.
so much.
Wrap it up.
That's
wrap
not
it up.
sarcasm, you actually do.
That was
that was good.
fire.
That was
Hey, that was
good.
I love that.
meaningful. That's
I love the
meaningful.
play
That's
on
how we-
words.
that's how
Because
we-
that's my whole thing is the play on words. I fuck with that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a neat thing.
Yeah, it's dope, bro.
Happen. So again, dog, we appreciate you.
Yup.
We got jokes on Shed Talk now. And y'all know what time it is. It's time for us to throw our social. So JC, throw them out for y'all. Where can they find you? Let them know where they can buy the nice jokes gear.
Yeah, so you can buy Jokes gear on jokesontheworld.com. Check us out. You can buy some art from there. You can buy the t-shirts from there. All that good stuff. You can also find us on social media on Instagram at jokesontheworld or at jokesartgallery. You can also find us on Twitter at jokesontheworld. So that's what it is, Jokes on the World. So yep.
Right, appreciate that. Y'all heard it. Also, want to give a big shout out too to our 2 homies that helped us. If you're watching on YouTube, you done seen the new.
Just watching on YouTube.
Yes, please
Actually,
do.
This is a really cool thing going on.
We got the new intro video. Shout out to our homies Jimmie Brown. He was here before last season, kicking it with us, and our homie Wendell Banks. Wendell did all the drone footage. Jimmie helped direct it a little bit. So if y'all want to get in touch with them to get some high quality projects, Jimmie works for Patriot News. He can give you some nice video footage, edit stuff, give you the scoop. Wendell has phenomenal drone footage. You can find Wendell at Fiends Banksy. That's FIEND Banks with a Y at the end for Wendell to get the drone footage. And then you can find Jimmie at Jimmie, not Y, but IE Ray Brown Jr. Both of those are on IG.
AKA the GOAT.
Both go Jim Goat.
Jim Goat. Well, you guys can find me at Tony Shed Talk as normal. So it's across the board. I made it simple. Go ahead.
And of course, y'all can always find me. I am on IG at Nate Monroe 45. On Twitter @_Monroe26.
That'll never change either.
No, never.
Never.
10 years running.
It's going well. It's going well.
Exactly. And then that's a wrap for episode 1 of season 2. Stay tuned for more. We like you. We love you. You love us. We kind of like, I do love y'all.
It's love.
This has
Spread the
been
love, damn it.
exactly. And this has been a Pishka production. And until we shut again.
See ya.